Thank you. Oh, he's already rocking and rolling. We're already on. Mics are already hot. So don't.
What I haven't done in a while?
What haven't you done?
I haven't thrown any back.
Okay. Vic's here if anybody's wondering. He's throwing bags. He's doing cornhole and drinking coffee. That's what he's doing right now.
Always had 8 bags.
Yeah, I thought we had 6 bags.
So did I.
How many do we have?
8.
Oh, okay. You can hear it really loud.
That's what I do in my nervous energy.
You throw bags.
Like now I do.
It is pretty fun.
Did I cancel this heavy bag?
Cancel this heavy bag. All right.
Oh no. No, no.
You need a pen?
Oh no.
You need a
You
pen?
have one extra one?
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
I keep some in this drawer if you ever need them. Because I'm always dropping them, losing them.
Hey guys, welcome to the show before the show. Good morning, Annette, Karen, and Trisha. Hey guys, welcome into the show. Show before the show, getting things rocking and rolling here, ready to start.
You need new batteries for this one.
Oh no. Can you use your hands or do we need to get them?
I'm good. I'm good without it. I don't use it often. But
Of course. You're Lizzie Effin Spark.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's your maiden name?
White.
Oh.
White. Mm-hmm. White. I've been a Sparks though longer than I've been a White.
I gotcha. Has this story, gosh, has the Senator Menendez gold bars being found in his home story moved you that much? I don't know. It was tied to a violent robbery. Apparently, he was given secrets to Egypt. I mean, how many of our government people have been sold out?
So many. So many. There's so much of that going on right now. Those sort of antics.
Yeah, I saw also a YouTuber deliberately crashed a plane into a mountain. Now he was sent to prison for doing it.
He must have been a Republican.
Why?
Because if a Democrat had done that, they just get by with it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
In my next life, I'm going to come back as a Democrat, but I'm really still going to be a conservative and just say I'm a Democrat and do all sorts of shit. And then I'm going to get by with it. Because if I do it now, I would be in trouble and I would be in jail.
I'm going to lie, cheat, and steal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just come back and say you're a Democrat and you can do any of that.
We've been thinking about turning our show to a Democrat show.
Yeah. And everybody's going to not listen anymore.
Well, they're funded.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's true. If we would put this show on...
They're heavily funded.
Yes, we could put this show on NPR.
Actually, we could
Go put this show on
we
NPR.
we could do cookie cutter shows. We're going to do one for the Democrats.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could get all sorts of funds if we said
that Trump.
Democrat.
You know what? I've had it with this Trump guy.
Yeah, that
what
Trump's
is
an
it with
asshole.
Republicans that they can't get off this fix of this guy?
Right. I don't know. I mean, have you ever noticed Republicans? They really have this terrible Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, they just love that guy all the time. Oh my gosh. I've never seen a Republican I didn't like. You know, they're just terrible, especially the conservative end of them. And did you see cha-ching, money would be coming rolling in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're just so close-minded, those conservatives.
They think they're better than
they do.
Democrats.
They think they're better than Democrats. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Those damn conservatives. We're making fun of it, but it's true. We would get all kinds of it.
Show before the show. Welcome in, like, subscribe, share the show, everybody. We appreciate it on all of our platforms. You know, we have a ton of them. Tons of platforms galore for everybody to enjoy. Making sure we get all of our stuff together here. Make sure you check in early. Get everybody in here. 8:15. John Rourke. I love Johnny John. John Rourke. We get him from time to time.
He's so good.
Hey, by the way, Joe, could you look up the website Blue Line Moving? Can we pop that up when at the end of my interview with John to promote his moving company? Good morning, Ben and Trisha, Terry. Who else is on there? Mary, Fridge Makara. I don't know.
That's a cool name, Fridge Makara.
Or the Fridge Makara.
Fridge Makara.
Good morning to you too, Mary.
Terry says, you know, when I was making fun of conservatives.
You said what?
Terry was saying on there when she knew that we were making fun of conservatives, and we were pretending the part of being a Democrat and saying that conservatives think they're better than. She says, we are.
Maybe.
Oh, we are. 100%. Christopher's. Yeah, you know, I haven't seen you on here a while. No wonder you're saying, hope you had a good
I was just reading this. I was looking through all the websites this morning. I saw this one on Fox News, the orange peel theory. Let's say whatever the reason, I hate peeling my oranges, but I like oranges. So I ask my partner, hey, babe, would you mind peeling this orange for me? Explained in a video. They can either respond with, of course, love, not a problem at all, or they can say, no, you're perfectly capable of peeling that orange yourself. I can honestly say that I would do that.
Yeah, I would do it. If somebody asked me in my family, anybody asked me to do it because it didn't bother him. Like my husband will help do the laundry, but he will not do socks because he's like, hey, would you do the socks? Because he can't stand the feel of the socks. I would do that
for my girlfriend. I've done it. I would do it for anybody in my past. I'd do it for my wife. I don't even think it's that big of a deal.
No, because some people, you know.
And if I asked any of them to do it, they do it for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Girlfriend, I mean, anybody.
Yeah, well, your ex wouldn't do it now.
Oh, no.
Like, I mean, you can't say your ex. I mean, your ex maybe at the time, but no ex will do it for you now. Nobody. I'm not just talking about you, anybody.
No, I think she would have done it even in the midst of all of her whatever stuff.
Whatever stuff.
My ex-wife would have been, I still think she would have done that.
Yeah.
But
some people won't.
But different relationships are different. I mean,
that is true.
An orange peel. Joe, would you, if somebody asked you, if your significant other asked you to peel an orange?
Would you do it?
I would, but I wouldn't let anybody do it for me.
Because you don't want their grimy hands on your orange.
Exactly.
You selfish piece of
orange.
So how's that selfish? I just don't want anybody peeling it for me because I don't want their germs all over my orange. Yeah. But if somebody wants my germs all over theirs, sure.
Are you're kind of a germy guy, aren't you?
I am.
Vic. I've kind of figured it out.
Yeah. And he's good like that because he'll have Lysol over there and Lysol wipes and all that. And you know what? You know, that's not a bad thing.
Well, I like to, that Kara doesn't like it, but I like to disinfect the foam on the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, for some reason she's weird. She likes the smell of the microphone.
Oh, see, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't like
neither do I. I don't even try to
microphone.
smell it. I think that's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't smell it either. I sometimes get too close and get some lipstick on it. There's not really.
Vernon says my wife peels my oranges. I don't feel right if, let's say, I'm trying to think of what was done. Like I'm trying to remember. I think my mother did it with my stepfather.
Did you?
Where she would if she got him like a drink.
Yeah.
It's just something wrong. Even if a woman wanted to do it, I know it's that 1950s, 1960s, 70s, 80s thing where, hey, babe, could you get me a Coke or something? Get it. And then like pop the tab open for you. And
yeah. That's nice.
There's something about that. No, that it like rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh.
I was like, well, why can't a man do that for themselves? Why does a woman have? But a woman wants to do it.
Yeah, I think
I don't feel comfortable.
I
don't feel comfortable with that.
Like Terry's saying on the chat line, if she had a guy, the best thing they could do is pump the gas and take the trash out. And I agree with that. I hate pumping my own gas, and I will, but if I can avoid it, I'll be like, hey, you want to drive my car today or your car, whatever? Because he just knows instinctively, I got to go get gas. He's got to go get gas.
That's the orange peel theory. You can test it out. I don't know. We could come up with our own TikTok viral sensation to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not buying all that.
I don't know. I think whatever you don't want to do, and if your significant other does it for you and vice versa, I'm all for it.
Yes, exactly.
I am all for it. Like all 5 of my kids, when they were little, I took the crust off their bread.
Okay. What? You were one of those.
I was.
Oh my God.
I still make the lunch of my freshmen.
Why would you take the crust off the bread?
They just didn't like the taste. Now they're fine with it. But when they were little, I was the mom that still put notes in all their lunch boxes and took a cookie cutter and made hearts out of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. No, I get it. I get it. It's all
kids
good.
have to do so much. I mean, I'm one of those moms that, once they get to high school, the game's kind of off. You kind of got to do things on your own. And I certainly expect them to pay for things. And all my adult kids are doing great. But when they're little, I didn't mind spoiling them and doing stuff for them because they have a whole adulthood that they have to adult. So a little bit of spoiling. I mean, for my granddaughter, I do everything for her when I get there because.
Have they expected, what is up with that TV?
Oh, no, it looks kind of silly over there.
But
they don't expect it. Once they get older, they don't expect me to. Actually, they're very helpful to us. So it's even with your kids, it's a two-way street. I have no problem. If the first people that I call if I have an issue is one of my adult kids, and they're right there.
Fridge Macara, whoever that is.
Fridge Macara. I'm not seeing Fridge Macara.
Hey, stick around, dude, or ma'am, whoever you are. The person says, I hear the talk shows and podcast category is the place to find all the crazy people. I think I found the place.
Well, good then. But see, whoever it is,
you might have, man.
Blocked,
just wait.
I guess.
Oh, you just wait around. Wait around.
Which one are you on? Which one is Fridge McCullough on? Facebook?
Whatever that is. No, there's a little icon right there. This one.
Yeah, I don't see him. So Fridge McCullough apparently has me blocked. I don't know.
Fridge McCullough's on Twitch.
Oh, is on Twitch. I don't.
Macara.
Macara. Okay, Twitch
sorry,
is the only thing I don't have, but you have.
Damn, I forgot that we were still live on Twitch.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
My
can
bad.
see Twitch.
He's the only person watching us on Twitch.
Okay.
It could be a she.
Or she.
Or it could be a he, she. He.
They.
Yeah.
They. There.
Okay, see, now I see that Fudge, whatever his name is, did come up on. Okay, I see it now.
There's no correct pronunciation. They are all equally wrong. I love it. Well, hey, we get a lot of things right, but we do get things wrong, but we can admit it. And Stephanie says, I put a note in my older son's lunchbox when he was in wrestling season.
I love it.
And being a jerk that said, oh, don't be a dick.
Oh, that's good. That's good to your kid. Right?
Okay, I get it. All right, Joe, let's kickstart this bad boy. Hey, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. Of course, we like to have a lot of fun. Infotainment at its best, especially when it comes to news headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, business, fun, paranormal, comedy. God, we do it all here. It's a great, fun morning show that we take care of live. It's our live cast. We feel what separates it is your interaction. We love it. We have a massive audience of people who chime in, listen, jump in from all over the country, and we are grateful for that. Albeit most of the audience listens or watches after our 8 to 10 a.m. Central Time slot, but we're grateful for those of you who jump in. If you haven't before and you're listening live, just jump in, say hi, give us a thumbs up. We'd also love to know where you're listening from. It'd be really cool just to let us know where everybody is. We try to give those shout outs as well. Clearly, you like us and we're grateful for it. So thanks for jumping in from that standpoint. David Sparks, Lizzie's husband, trying to have some fun with me. He said, Vic, who peels your banana?
That's right. You'd have to have heard the pre-show to understand.
Well, the pre-show was about the orange peel theory, where you can tell the love of your life, whether they're true or not. If it's your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever, if you ask them to peel an orange for you and their response will show you. Mm-hmm. For my relationships and me, I would do it, and the people would do it for me.
Yeah.
My current situation, girlfriend too, she would do it. I would do it for her. You and your husband would do it for each 100%. Other. Joe,
he said he would do it for anybody, but he didn't want their grimy mitts on his oranges.
Well, it is interesting. So Dave asked me who peels my banana.
Yeah, who does peel your banana?
Now I know where Lizzie gets all of her dirtiness from.
That was the first thing I thought when I saw that. I wanted to make a joke about it because that was such a Lizzie type joke.
Yeah, and Lizzie looks like Mrs. Susie Homemaker, and David looks like an accountant, which he is. I mean, just like your everyday average American family, and then they're in their house like,
we are so bad. We are
you
so
sex
bad.
Kitten, get over here. If your special room and everything else.
We have special room, but the jokes fly in my house.
As long as I get Joe to laugh, and people can't see Joe because Joe refuses to put the damn camera on him.
He's so great.
Even though we beg him every day, Joe, put the freaking camera on your face.
I would break the internet.
Oh my God, stop it.
His popularity would, you know what? We would have every sponsor
instead of being
in the
like
world.
Wilson. It's, I mean, and do you think, seriously, we're going to put you on the hot seat here. We're going to psychoanalyze you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
dude, you've lost a whole person, right? 180.
Fantastic.
How much total weight right now?
Roughly around 175. There was a point where I couldn't weigh myself on a typical scale, so I had to go to a warehouse, and I know that I gained weight. I weighed like 450 the last time I checked, and I know I gained,
dude, I'm sorry, because we know you and you're our friend, and you're as good as they come, and you're loyal, and what the you had to go to a warehouse to weigh yourself?
Yeah, I had to
like
weigh myself on a pallet scale.
Oh, wow.
Like they would weigh pallets. I almost weighed 500 pounds.
Wow, and you look fantastic now. Yeah.
Because I know you. I can't imagine the walk upstairs or trying to walk into a building and say, hey, can I get on your scale in the back?
Yeah, that'd be rough.
No,
holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I knew the people at the place that I did, so I knew the
Once again, as I said it before and I say it again, the willpower that it takes, because when you get to that point, you're kind of, because of life decisions and life education, you feel broke, and you know more than anybody else. And to be able to come back from that,
you just reach a point where it's either sink or swim.
Yeah.
Damn. You just threw me for a loop from that standpoint. What got us into that again?
Yeah, your dirty jokes.
No,
David's who peels your banana.
That's all right, David. Guess what? There was another story I saw. Here you go. Lizzie has a long time to go where she could bear some new kids for you.
Oh my,
David. You ready to have some more kids? Not grandkids, your own kids.
Oh my! Could you imagine? My grandma did that. She had a kid younger than her.
I knew 50-year-old men and their wives that had them in Michigan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. 70-year-old woman this past week gave birth to twins 3 years after having her first child.
Oh my gosh! So she was in her 60s when she had her first. Oh, holy cow!
There's a lot of time for some baby making there, Lizzie.
I guess
you and David in the back room have fun.
Have at it. Back room. That's okay. If I have to have any more, I'll go get me some. I'll go adopt some or whatever. I'm not.
Yeah, that's true. But you have how many adopted kids?
I have 2. We have
Okay,
5 kids. 2 of them are adopted. 3 are
Okay.
bio. So
All right, real quick. We got John Rourke. Sorry, we got time. I'm getting away from myself. John Rourke coming up here in just a second, which is fantastic. Let's see here.
yeah. Could you imagine having a kid that old? I mean, I can't, like, people are saying that's so unfair to the kids, and somebody had their last one. It would be kind of hard to be a parent to do things when you're 70. I mean, you better have some good relatives that will take the kids over when you croak.
Yeah, no, I agree. Coming up on the show just here in just a little bit, we got John Rourke from the Great American Cleanup, one of our great friends. He's going to talk about his trip to Mar-a-Lago over the weekend. The Rio Grande buoys are now being ordered removed by an appeals court in Texas after Governor Abbott in the state of Texas put him in there to try to stop illegal immigration because the Biden administration and Mayorkas are horrible, as we've talked about with that. We'll talk about a new law that Governor Abbott's trying to sign too. I don't know if you guys saw this regarding any illegals in the state. They can kick them out of Texas and kick them out somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah. So is it going to, we've talked about this so many times. You go by state by state situation.
State by state.
The WHO is back at it again, not the band, World Health Organization, with new recommendations for cupcakes, aka vaxes, for every pregnancy. I mean, you can't make this crap up, especially after all the evidence that's already been put out there. We'll have some crazy video. Joe, if we didn't go over it, but I sent you house explosion video too.
Yeah, that's pretty
So please try to find that. We were looking at that earlier. How about this? We got more Trump information too. Federal judge denying special counsel Jack Smith's request to conceal documents. Why in the hell is a counsel trying to seal documents so the defense team can't defend themselves? Gee, Vic, you just answered your question. That tells you all you need to know. We've got a lot of other things. Comer talking about the Biden crime family. It was heating up. Then October 7th happened in Israel. Don't let the national news headlines take you away from everything else that's happening all over the place. We're just trying to get into the truth of everything that's happening all over. And real quick, before we get to John, special thanks to our partners. They make everything possible. That starts with the Meanies. In the Chesterfield Valley, your leading, leading supplier in traditional and infrared saunas and saltwater hot tubs. You got to give them a try. Go to our partners page, canceltheshow.com, literally canceltheshow.com. Click on the partners page, and we have links to all of our partners pages. The saunas, the saltwater hot tubs, it'll blow your mind. I know everything about these saunas, weight loss, heart circulation, health, sleeping. You can't do anything better. It's not just a luxury item. And there's so many ways that you can afford the saunas because you can have a 1-person sauna all the way up to a 7-person sauna. It's that heat. It's that sweating.
Yeah.
It's that. Then the infrared, you're not even sweating. You're getting what you need to get at a lower temperature at about 120 degrees. Also, experienced realty partners, Kathy Helbig-Strick, Steve Strick. Score Mortgage and 314-276-SOLD. Expect to be moved. There's nobody better to talk about real estate, not only in the St. Louis area, but they've got their partners all across the country as well. Route 66. Gosh, I am stuffed up. Excuse me this morning, guys. I'll get a water in a little bit. The Midwest Fast Lane Premier Cannabis Shopping Experience. Ham and Patrick from Ostera come in all the time to talk about the advantages of using natural cannabis when opposed to pharma and what Big Pharma has tried to do. Solar City STL, making renewable energy part of your life. They say let the heavy lifting be done by them right now. They have their own installations as well. It's a really big deal. They're packed. They're busy because people are finding the value of solar. Strategic Air Services, where we do our live show in the Chesterfield Valley. When you talk about premier private transportation and providers in all things aviation, look no further than Strategic Air Services. We have people coming in and out of here all the time. People who own big jets, but people who are everyday people like the rest of us who are just going somewhere on a day trip or their business is flying them somewhere else. We Quip, Paige Measley is going to be in here Thursday, guys, at 9:00 to teach us more about this fascinating new company where you can rent from other people items. Usually it works better in your own neighborhood, in your own areas where you live in your own city, something that you may not want to buy or you just need really quick, where it works for everybody. One person makes money, the other person gets what they want. You can buy, but you can also sell your items as well. And Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley. the best pizza, burgers, wings, smoked meat you're going to find. And by the way, and Joe, if we have that graphic, we can pop it up now. Thursday night, 2 nights from now, 7 p.m. at Winty's, we'll be doing our 1-year celebration party, AKA anniversary party, also our holiday party. So, hey, if you want to come out, great. If you don't want to come out, that's fine too. We'll be there.
We hope you do, though.
We'll be there. If there's one person there, if there's 1,000 people there, we'll love it. We'll have fun. We appreciate everybody doing that. Thanks again for jumping in. Okay. All right, there it is. Let's get in. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes late to get into John, and his time is very valuable, and we respect John Rourke. John Rourke is the man. We talk about him all the time. John from the Great American Cleanup. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, buddy.
Doing good, man. Long time no talk to. How's everything going?
Good. Well,
Good.
we follow you, Lizzie and I and Joe. We follow you. We follow you on social media. Encourage everybody to follow John Rourke on Instagram as well. And we'll talk about your podcast show. We'll talk about the things that we're doing. You and your wife were somewhere over the weekend. Looked like you guys had. I looked for the pictures, but I guess did you post them on your story? So they did.
Yeah. I just we were at Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle every year. They throw a big Christmas boat parade party. So we're, where I'm from, Jupiter, Martin County, Palm Beach County area, obviously a lot of intercoastal waterways, et cetera. So every year in Jupiter, they have a Christmas boat parade where everybody brings their boats out and decorates them with lights and Christmas trees and the whole 9 yards. And they invite everyone over to their house. And what's really cool about this is that, it isn't just like you would think it's like some elite party where only the elites are going. But it's not. It's a party for everyone. Anyone that's helped them with anything or became friendly with them. I mean, there's plumbers, electricians. It's the working man. It is some of
the plumbers and the electricians are the millionaires now, right?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
I mean, seriously,
that's where the money is. The movers.
Yep, exactly. Not there yet. We're trying though, but yeah, it was a great party, and really what it was about is marine toys for tots. So everyone brings an unwrapped toy, and then they load them on. The Marines come on a boat, and then everyone loads all their toys onto the boat. And I think they hit like 700 toys.
Oh wow!
So that's a lot of toys, and they helped a lot of people, a lot of kids that wouldn't get Christmas toys, and it's just and they raise money too for Marine Toys for Tots, and just a great time. The president, graced us, and he was amazing. So it's unbelievable when you hear people talk about his age or his energy level. I mean, to see it in person, it's just unbelievable. This man, was on a plane at 6 a.m. to Iowa, speaking at multiple cities in Iowa, multiple, speaking engagements, flying all over the country, and he still, gets back, lands, gets in the motorcade, drives all the way up to Jupiter from Palm Beach, and then comes and says a few words to all the people that are at this party, words of encouragement, tells us about how high he's up on in Iowa and the polls, and just unbelievable, man. I mean, we're talking like 9 something at night, and he could have easily just went home, landing at Palm Beach International's right down the road from Mar-a-Lago. But he drove all the way up to Jupiter to make sure that he came and spoke to everyone that was at the party. And it was just so impressive to see a man, 77, I think he is, 78 years old, with just this energy and clarity. And it's unbelievable what he's able to achieve, especially when it's juxtaposed against President Biden and how awful he is and how low energy he is. And it's night and day, really. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it has to do with he just doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs, and never has, and it shows. It's really impressive.
He's a healthy man. He's 77. He turned 77 in the summer. I can't remember his exact birthday, but he moves around like he's 57.
It's really unbelievable.
And you saw it firsthand there. Something else you've been seeing firsthand. We just remind our viewers and our listeners, nobody knows what's going on in the border as much as you do right now because of all of your trips there, cleaning up trash after illegals, dumping all of their trash all over the border on the American side for everybody else who lives there to clean up, to try to deal with, and all of the problems that can occur. Well, John gets down there as much as he possibly can with his team. He cleans up the trash. He sees what's going on. He's a military veteran. He's recruited over and over and over all over this country, trying to recruit the next wave of men and women to help protect and help preserve our country, to serve our country. And that's why we bring him on, because of the border situations, especially knowing the state of Texas. A lot of stuff going on in Texas. One of the reasons I thought about you again, we hadn't had you. Can you explain this buoy situation? Because Governor Abbott put buoys in the Rio Grande to try to stop illegal immigration, illegal aliens coming in. Then the Biden administration, correct me if I'm wrong, tried to stop it, said it wasn't good for the environment. An appeals court recently ruled that those buoys have to come out of the Rio Grande. Do you know anything else what's going on with that situation?
Yeah, so that Fifth Circuit Court down in Louisiana overturned that. So apparently they have to remove it, but obviously, you know, they're going to appeal this, and he's already said so. I mean, at the end of the day, right, they have to do something. Like, the state of Texas is being completely overrun with illegal aliens. What are they supposed to do? Nothing? Let millions of people cross into their state and destroy their state? At some point, you have to do something. If the government fails to act, then the citizens or the local government has to act on behalf of the people in those areas. The buoys worked, plain and simple. Okay, they don't care about the environment when they're flying around on private jets, when they're making everything in China and putting it on giant cargo ships that burn diesel and sending it all the way across the ocean to come to the United States and then sending it back to China empty. They don't care about it then. They don't care about it in their 100-foot yachts when they're sipping champagne and I'm waiting at a drawbridge so this 100-foot yacht could come by while the guy's got his feet kicked up drinking a Mai Tai, and I'm trying to work waiting at a bridge so this guy can enjoy his life. They don't care about any of that. But all of a sudden now they care about the dirty waters of the Rio Grande, where literally people die in every day, okay, and float down the river. They don't care about that. All they care about is letting illegal aliens into this country. And if you haven't seen what's going on in Lukeville, Arizona, well, then you need to Google Lukeville, Arizona, because that has now shifted to become the epicenter of illegal aliens coming into this country. I think they had over 50 illegal Chinese aliens, all military-age fighting males, come across yesterday. And if you see the video, these people are all standing at what we like to refer to as at ease in the military, or parade rest, with their arms behind their back, okay? You don't normally just do that. And it was like every single one of them. And I'm wondering to myself, why are these guys standing at at the position of at ease? It seems to me like these look like some of these guys might be soldiers coming across our border, and it's got to end. And here's Governor Abbott literally doing everything that he can legally possibly do to protect the citizens of Texas. And the Biden administration is worried about the environment in the Rio Grande, which is literally full of trash. I don't see anybody out there in boats picking trash up out of the water from the illegal aliens, but all of a sudden they're concerned with the environment in the Rio Grande.
That's what concerned me. You brought up that video, John, and we're going to play it here in just a second. When I looked at it and I saw it, I'm like, okay, once again, middle-aged men, and we're showing the video for people now, middle-aged men, and you were talking about just standing at ease. Can you explain what you see again here out of all of your experience at the border as we show that video?
I see a bunch of 20 to 50-year-old men, no women, no children. I see them standing straight up, hands behind their backs, a lot of them. Okay. I mean, look how they're standing.
Crazy.
It's like they're in formation. It's like they're standing in a formation. They just go to what naturally they would do, put their hands behind their back and stand there. And these are people that are coming into our country every single day, 24/7, 365, by the thousands. And what do you think that they're doing? Where do you think that they're going? Do you think they're just going, let's go on over to Montana and let's just start working on a farm? They're not doing that.
No.
Are you kidding me? What do you think these people are here to do?
What do you think, John? John, let's go all the way with that comment instead of us just assuming. What do you think they're here to do?
I think they're here to wait for their time to act. That's what I think that they're here to do.
That's what I'm scared shitless about, because I agree.
And you should be. I mean, a house just blew up in Arlington, Virginia, and it wasn't a gas leak. Okay? No. These people are coming across the border, and they're coming here to do damage to our country. And sooner or later, we're going to find out the hard way, because we're always reactive in this country, right? We let the planes hit the towers. Now we want to do something, right? We're always reactive. We never proactive, right? We only fix a bridge when it collapses and people die, right? This is how it works in this country. We react. We need to be proactive, like Governor Abbott is of Texas. He's doing everything in his power to remove illegal aliens, arrest them, because That's what we're supposed to do. We
Yeah,
have
this isn't a
laws.
Republican or Democratic issue. This is a
Yeah.
safety issue. And you bring up Abbott as we were showing you the video of these Chinese men. We already talked. Hell, we got a report last month, John. 7,000 Chinese nationals just during the month of October coming through our open border and or ports of entry in 1 month.
Yeah. And that's the ones that we know about.
And the ones we know about.
Those are the ones that we know about. The ones that want to get away, they get away. I mean, they're in Lukeville. There's a million videos you can see online where cartel is literally just cutting the wall with grinders, cutting pieces of the wall out, and then people are just walking through the holes in the wall. And you can see all of that. Oh my God. I mean, it's literally happening all over the place. And there's nothing that we can do because our Border Patrol agents who would normally be patrolling the border are processing people. They're closing ports of entries. Okay, they closed the Lukeville port of entry. They just closed the lane in Eagle Pass yesterday because they need all of those agents to process people and then, of course, release them right into the United States, into our communities, into our states. They're sucking on the tit of the United States, and it's never going to end as long as Joe Biden's the president.
And John, what do you think is their end game? Of course, a lot of people say it's to get votes, but why do the Biden administration and whoever's telling Biden to do what he's doing, what is their end game? Are they just literally wanting to blow up houses? Are they literally wanting to scare us? Are they literally wanting to take over our country? Why? What's their end game?
Well, I mean, I think that ultimately it's to collapse this this country. And I mean, no one talks about what's going on in Europe too, right? It's happening there as well.
Yeah, we're talking about it on this show all the time, John, and we appreciate you bringing that up. We spent the last 2 weeks showing and breaking down video like that.
Yes, it's happening. All the Western countries are getting flooded with illegal immigrants. Look what is happening in Ireland. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
They're passing laws where if you post a meme that makes someone sad, they're going to come kick your door in and arrest you.
The northern part of Ireland. Did you see what the most popular name in the last 3 years was for new baby boys?
I didn't, but let me guess. Muhammad.
Boom. You're exactly right.
And I had no idea. Yeah. I'd never heard this, but let me take a stab in the dark because that's what they like to do.
You should see the look on the faces of the Irish when they're asked that question on the street. They're like, what?
What? The Irish have been dumb doing this for quite some time.
But they know too, though. They see what's happening.
They do.
We talked a lot about Conor McGregor, speaking up about some things that are happening there as well in the last week. Hey, John, when it comes to Governor Abbott in Texas, word came out 2 days ago that he is now going to, quote, sign legislation where the state of Texas can remove illegals from the state. Where they would go, I have no idea. It just said they would kick them out of the state. What kind of traction do you think that would get? And if that was able to happen, how the hell do you go about doing this? Because even former President Trump said if he's reelected, he'll round them up and kick them out of the country. But I don't know how that happens.
I think that you have to start, obviously, with the people that have been arrested before, right? So you can't just go indiscriminately removing people, right? Like there has to be a process in place. And the first place you need to start is if you've been arrested for anything, you're gone, right? Yep. You might have kids and you're whatever. If you've been arrested in this country, right, you're gone. And they need to start there. The problem with what Governor Abbott is pushing with this new legislation here is, and where I find it's going to run into problems, is it says that police can remove, they can approach anyone that they think could be illegal in the state of Texas. So that really opens up a can of worms as far as police having the control to just walk up to an American citizen that might be Latino and start questioning them about where they're from and what they're doing. So he's definitely going to run into issues with that 100%. So I think they might have to change the bill and change the wording in there to protect some of the American citizens that, obviously, if you've ever been to the South Texas, it's far a majority of Latinos that live there. So you're talking about police having the ability to just stop someone driving a car, look over, see it's a Latino, and just say that person could be illegal. Let me pull them over and talk to them. That they're going to run into trouble with that for sure. But if they clean those words up and change it to where that police should be able to arrest a person that they suspect is illegal and remove them from the country, 100%. Yes. Otherwise, what are we doing? What do we have laws on the books for if we don't expect our police officers to approach an illegal alien, arrest them for crossing our sovereign borders into our country illegally, and they can't remove them? Are you what?
I think people who think that this is fine for individuals coming into this country illegal from an illegal standpoint need to remind themselves and remember, especially if they're Democrat or liberal or support Joe Biden in any way in what he's doing here, need to understand that people with bad intentions don't give a shit about your politics.
Correct.
They won't, if something happens, they won't be asking if you're an R or an L or an I.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be doing what they came here to do.
Yes, these people are obviously, for the most part, they're coming here for financial reasons. I mean, I've talked to tens of thousands of illegal aliens, most of them right as they cross the border, and I asked every single one of them, "Why are you coming here? What's the reason why you're coming here?" And it's for work. You know, they say we can't live off $30 a month in Venezuela. It's not possible. I have 2 kids at home, and the problem is there's no work here for you either. That's why you're sleeping on the streets of New York. There are now illegal aliens that are trying to go home back to their country because they came here and realized, well, this wasn't the American dream that I was told, that I was promised that I was going to get. I'm sleeping on a sidewalk.
Massachusetts hotels are telling people they're booked. They're booked.
Yeah.
People can't come in for the holidays because they're booked with illegal aliens at their hotels.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no room.
You know, one thing that is a very disturbing report that has recently come to surface is that the VA, the Veterans Administration, is now processing medical claims for illegal aliens. Have you heard this yet?
No.
Oh,
No.
Go ahead and do yourself.
We were asked to ask you this question, though.
Yeah. What's that?
We were asked by a viewer / listener, John, to please ask you if you knew anything about the VA situation and how they're using the system. What's going on? You're educating me. I have no idea.
Yeah. So basically what's happening is illegal aliens are going to hospitals and urgent cares and whatever medical facilities, and they are allowed, and this is not something that, hyperbole here. Like, I spoke to a nurse. I spoke to a police officer who's married to a nurse. She says that these illegal aliens coming into Del Rio Hospital, this was in Del Rio, Texas, whatever they want, dentures, pacemakers, any ailment that they are suffering from is going to get fixed. So what the government is now doing is they need to process these claims, right? These hospitals need to get compensated for seeing these people. And so they're just using the VA, of course, because the VA isn't behind on veterans claims. Right? No, of course not. There, government healthcare, it runs like a well-tuned car. Not. So what they're doing is they're using the VA and the VA claims processors to process these claims for illegal aliens when we have veterans who are literally waiting in line to get claims processed. Okay, people that don't make a lot of money, that need the money that they spend at an urgent care or a doctor's office, and these people now are being told, you have to pay this bill or it's going to debt collection because the VA is refusing or hasn't paid us in a timely manner. Wow. And that's because they're bogged down processing illegal aliens claims.
And they're busting our financial
Joe Biden's
system.
America.
That is just so angering. It's
unbelievable when we have 23 veterans a day committing suicide. Literally, we have veterans driving to VA hospitals and blowing their brains out in the parking lots of the hospitals just to prove a point. Think about that. Name another hospital that you can think of that people go to their hospital to kill themselves in. And we're using the VA to process illegal aliens. It's enough, man. It's enough. And I fully support Governor Abbott arresting these people and removing them. I support buoys. I support walls. I support whatever the hell we need to do to keep these people out of our damn country.
Well,
that's
I do
what needs
too.
to happen.
Obviously, we broadcast live out of the St. Louis, Missouri area. I'd love to see it in the state of Missouri. We're in one of the safest spots right in the middle of the country, and it's here, John.
Oh, it is here. It is definitely here. It's not a VA, but I have gone into the doctor's office several times, and I am the only English-speaking person in the doctor's office or getting my blood drawn. And when I'm standing there, I'm having to pay my copay, and I look over there on purpose. They're paying nothing Nothing at all.
Nothing.
It's
And they're
terrible.
treated with they get white glove service.
100%. Yep, you're right. That's
And they look
exactly
at
right.
you like you filthy American. Oh, I got to deal with you. You're probably going to want something from me or make me like work. I don't want to do that. Let me just deal with these illegal aliens who just take whatever we can give them and they're happy about it. Like this is the attitude now. The attitude in this country is these poor people are just coming here for a better life. And a lot of them are. But you know what? Maybe make a better life for yourself in your country, right? Because at some point, it's not healthy to have more Haitians living in the United States than in Haiti, or more Colombians and Venezuelans living here than in their countries. That's not how it works, okay? But this is what's happening because we have an old fool as president who just lets people into our country unchecked. No one knows who they are. No one knows their background. We're stopping and arresting child molesters left and right. People that have murdered people that are still here in this country, and we're removing them, and then they just walk right back across the border into the United States 5 times, 6 times, been deported 7, 8 times. They just come right back over. Like, when does it end? When do we put America first?
John is talking with John Work from the Great American Cleanup, knows more about the border right now than anybody else. John, is just because the news isn't focused on the border, we're not seeing it from a national standpoint. You don't see, I mean, outside of the local news stations that are down there at the border, it's not you don't hear people talking about it. Obviously, what do you hear? You hear about Israel, Hamas, and it's been that way since October 7th when the Biden crime family syndicate news was heating up, illegal immigration was heating up, and then unfortunately the October 7th attack hit, and now that's been stealing the headlines. I'm curious, is this still going on at the border? We saw video yesterday from Arizona, but do we still have the amount of people coming into this country on a daily basis illegally?
Oh, it's more now than ever. I just spoke with a Constable Esquivel from District 5 down in Brownsville, the Brownsville area. I just spoke with him on the phone yesterday, and he was telling me it's a nonstop flow every single day of the week. It never ends. Okay. And I was just talking to him about like, what's it like policing down there, right? Like, because he's an elected official, right? He's a constable. And wouldn't it be nice if he can just focus on crime in his city instead of sending his officers to have to patrol along the southern border to prevent people from coming into his city while crimes go unchecked? Because there's not enough of them, right? Like they can't be everywhere at once. And the crime that is happening from these people crossing the border, especially the ones that don't want to be caught, coming into the city, they don't have any money, they don't have anything, they're breaking in the cars, they're stealing stuff out of sheds, they're breaking into people's homes, they're just taking anything that's not screwed down and trying to make a buck out of it. That right there in itself, the cops should be trying to prevent those crimes from happening, but they can't because there's not enough Border Patrol agents to stop these people. So what happens is they see 50 or 100 people cross. Constable sees it. He can't just keep driving. He has to pull off. He has to sit there with them, call the Border Patrol, wait for them to show up. By the time he's done, it's 3-4 hours. He's sitting there and half his shift is over. And what did he do for the community? Right? But you can't let these people just come. You can't let 100 people just walk into Brownsville. So he has no choice, right? And it's just unacceptable. And they need the buoys. They need the buoys all over the damn Rio Grande. They need to do whatever they need to do with the Rio Grande to prevent these people from crossing, because they're not going to stop coming. As long as Joe Biden's the president, the train, they're loading these people on trains, and these people are taking trains through Mexico. They're taking boats through Central America. They're taking buses any way, anyhow they can get here. They're coming here, and they're also coming into the United States in Florida, which you never hear about.
Correct.
Every day, boatloads and boatloads and boatloads of people washing on shore. You just saw a video in Malibu, California, of a boat coming onto the beach and crashing, people jumping off the boat. So it's any way they can do it, they're going to do it. They're going to do it at the northern border from Canada into New York. It just never ends. Our borders are so porous. We need people like Governor Abbott to enact these laws because our federal government fails to act.
Oh my God. Hey, do you have a couple more minutes? Because we've had you for so much time. Okay. I'm trying to get through everything else you've already said, John. My brain is fried. My heart
Yes,
is
all of our
sad,
listeners are so
and
mad.
my blood is
And they should
boiling.
be
Yes,
mad.
they should be mad.
I just don't think Americans get it yet from a large standpoint. I know there is a large group of us that do, but too many just don't get it yet
No, they don't.
and don't understand how life can be changed. One thing you talked about when we first started this interview today, as we catch back up, and it's hard to call an interview with you. It's a good chat conversation. John or Joe, could you get ready? Could you show that video of the house explosion that I sent you?
Oh yeah.
And you don't see it, or
Do you know what it was labeled? Because I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, well, we'll get
Oh,
house
it might have been
explosion.
Virginia house explosion.
Arlington, Virginia.
Yeah.
But John, what I was curious about from that standpoint is, why did you bring up that house explosion? It's called House Explodes, Joe. Um, why did you bring this up when it came to us talking about illegals coming into this country?
Because I wouldn't be surprised if the people that were living in that house came into this country illegally and
Mhm.
Okay.
were living there, right? So, I'm friends with some people that are in the bomb industry, the law enforcement section of it, obviously. And a lot of them are saying when you look at the explosion, right, and you're going to see it here in a second. Look at all the pieces of paper and everything that's still lit in the air, right? So you see how they're way up in the air and they're still on fire. That leads you to believe that there was an accelerant that was inside that home, and that accelerant got on all of those pieces of paper or whatever that stuff is that's flying up in the air, and that's why you're seeing it fly through the air and still on fire. So that leads you to believe that it wasn't like a natural gas explosion or something like that. There was, and obviously I don't know this to be fact, but in my opinion and from the people I talked to, there was bomb-making material in that house. They obviously saw that the search warrant was about to be served and they were going to be exposed. So apparently they opened fire on the police, and then they detonated the bomb with a flare gun. So they shot flares into whatever it was in there, and they knew their time was up, and they blew the house up. So, but where were those explosives going to go is the real question, right? And to be honest, I don't know if we'll ever find out the answer to that, because if the government finds out that these people crossed the border illegally and were planning an attack here in this country, I don't think that we'll ever get that from them. I don't think that will ever see the light of day, because if it does, that right there is something that might change some minds, knowing that these people had an attack planned. And I want to know what the search warrant was being searched for. What were they going there to search this home for? Right? And that needs to be known. That needs to be made public. What was the search warrant for? And if it was for what I think it was going to be for, then you see what happened, right? So that's why I mentioned the illegal aliens, because you see so many people from Iran. I follow a gentleman on Instagram named Anthony Aguero, and he's on the border every single day. He's an American citizen. He just covers the border. And for himself, he's an independent journalist. And he always makes sure to ask people where they're from, right? So anytime he approaches a group of people, he always says, "Donde son? Where are you? Where are you from? Where are you from?" And a lot of times you hear the Middle East, Iran. Yes. A lot of times I've heard Iran from these people, Jordan, Yemen, Middle East countries. People are pouring in across the border from these countries. And obviously we know that in a lot of these countries, they hate America. And it's just a damn shame to see that these people are pouring across our border into our country. What the hell are they coming here to do? And I think in some cases, a lot of them are coming here to do that. What you just saw.
And it makes you wonder about the Chinese men coming in too. I'm not saying that was, I've heard some reports that the person was there illegally, just as you're saying, but he was Chinese. I don't know if that's true or not, but either case, that is really scary to know. We're seeing it right here in God's country, where we're seeing illegals now getting caught abusing people. And it's right here in middle America here too.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, and I saw the report that you probably saw. A person did an aerial shot of the house and got the address, and then just searched the address upon public record and posted a picture of the gentleman who appears to be Asian descent. And that's even scarier, man, because usually you don't see the Chinese blowing things up or stuff like that. It is what it is. It's usually the Middle Easterners that are doing these kinds of things, to be honest. And so you would expect that might be the case in that situation. But if that was a house full of Chinese nationals, we're in a different situation. These people already have police stations set up all around the United States. I mean, they have the president of the United States is bought and paid for by the Chinese. We all know that to be true, especially with the documents that have been coming out through Congress. So we know him and his family are bought and paid for. And now you're seeing all these Chinese nationals come flood across the border. We know that there's Chinese police stations set up across the country. They have the balloon flying across the country. We don't do anything. So it's scary times that we're living in. And I just think that, like I said earlier, we're reactive, not proactive.
Yes.
We wait for things to happen before stopping them before they happen. And I think that the only thing that might wake this country up is something terrible happening again. And then maybe that will wake people up to understand that you don't have a country if you don't have borders.
Yeah, it would have to be a massive, horrible tragedy, I think, John, to wake enough Americans up to try to force change in some positive way. It is sad. We're grateful for all the time that you give us all the time, but I did want to touch base with you real quick. Joe, can we take John on a one shot? We were asked, John, because you always have great backdrops with your sports because you're a sports fan.
Yeah.
Is that a Ricky Vaughn 99 jersey?
Yeah.
In
Wild
the backdrop? Wild thing?
That's Wild Thing. Yeah.
Obviously you love that movie. So
yes.
I mean, how long, did you buy that at auction? Did you have that made? Somebody noticed it right off the bat and they're like, boy, you've got to ask him if that's from the baseball movie. If that's,
of course it is, man. Yeah, Wild Thing. I mean, I'm a huge sports fan.
And
so
I thought you were a Reds fan.
Yeah, no. I'm a Yankees fan, baby. But
I knew Yankees too, but
I'm a fan of grinders. I'm a fan of hustlers. I'm a fan of people that work their ass off to achieve the American dream. And Pete Rose is definitely that. I'm looking at a Rudy Rudiger jersey that I have hanging on the wall over there. And then obviously Wild Thing. I mean, just a classic baseball movie.
Major League, one of the best ever.
Not a good person in real life per se, but his character in the movie was awesome. So, yeah, I bought that at auction, a website called Pristine Auctions. You can go on there and they sell all kinds of jerseys and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, I'm a Mizzou guy, and Tom Berenger, the catcher, is from Mizzou. He's a Mizzou grad. He's a Mizzou alum, my friend.
Yeah, so Tom Berenger's great.
So next time you watch a movie, you got Tom Berenger and Mizzou connection.
That's right.
Hey, real quick, remind everybody how they can get associated with or promote your business, Blue Line Moving, because you've got to support yourself as well. And then we'll talk about the podcast. What is it exactly that you're doing with Blue Line?
Yeah, so Blue Line Moving, we do local long distance moves all across the United States, really focusing on, the people fleeing the Northeast and coming down to Florida, and people fleeing California, going to Texas and Florida and places like Tennessee and North Carolina. That's our bread and butter. We do a lot of local moves as well, but we do full packing, white glove service, a lot of high-end clients, people like Wayne Gretzky and Sean Hannity and people like lots of golfers, Justin Thomas, Martin Kamer, a lot of people like that. And those are our clients. So that's what we do. It's bluelinemoving.net to reach out to me. I think my camera just went off.
Yeah, that's all right. We hear you.
Bluelinemoving.net is where you can find me, or on Instagram at bluelinemoving. I got some big stuff coming up here in the future. I've partnered in my business with some two pretty influential people that might have already mentioned in this podcast, in this broadcast already. They've come into my business, and I'm really excited about that and what's to come from my business. And really, it's about being a conservative mover and doing the right thing and taking care of clients. It's such a scammy industry and such a fraudulent industry that it's tough to find a trustworthy, honest mover, and that is what I am. I'm not perfect, and we're not perfect, and we might nick something or scratch something every once in a while, but we repair it. We do the right thing. We take care of the customer, and that's what it's all about. That's what I'm all about. And I'll be actually back on the border. Looks like I might be in this month, but probably January. I'm doing my second dog rescue. So last year we rescued 40 dogs down there in Eagle Pass and Del Rio, and I got a call from the chief of the Rio Grande for Border Patrol, Gloria Chavez, and she said, "Hey, I know you pulled off this dog rescue last year. You got 40 dogs out of here. Well, we need your help again. McAllen, Texas is the epicenter here. Apparently there's hundreds and hundreds of dogs just running all over McAllen, Texas. So we're putting together another dog rescue. We're going to fly out there, and we're going to try and rescue as many dogs as we can off the streets of McAllen. It's just incredible that people bring their animals with them. They're so comfortable crossing the border that they will bring dogs, small and large, and float them across the river with them and bring them to the United States. And then they bump into a Border Patrol agent, and agent says, you can't bring that dog with you. And they just let the dog go. And they're not spayed or neutered. So they reproduce all over the place. It's just another, it's just another sad story at the southern border that really gets no attention. But it's horrible. I mean, no one wants to live in a community where everywhere you park your car, a supermarket, a gas station, you have dogs walking up to you, right? You're pumping gas and here comes a dog, you know, walking up to you while you're pumping your gas.
So sad.
It really is. It really is sad because, you know, these are people's pets too.
Yeah.
These aren't like wild dogs that are living off the land. These are like tiny little dogs in a lot of cases. And they just let them go. And these dogs are fending for themselves, you know, and it's unbelievable, man. What is going on in this damn country? It makes me sad. It makes me angry, you know, but at the same time, the way back to a normal functioning United States is through the people getting involved and doing stuff on their own, acting where in places where government fails to act or refuses to act. We need to act on the behalf of the American people. And that's what I try to do. But with these cleanups and with these dog rescues and whether it's bringing water to East Palestine or hurricane relief or whatever it is, anywhere that I can help, I'm going to try and do that. So that's what I try and do. And I would appreciate the support if you can follow me on social media and support me with my efforts to go clean up and dog rescues. And obviously, if you're moving, I would love to move you and get moved by someone that's a conservative, where you know the money, part of the money that you're spending with my company is going to really save this country. That's what it's all about for me.
100%. Man, we love you. Thank you so much. John, we love you. Keep rocking, keep rolling. Is your podcast still going on?
It's still going on,
Yeah,
but you know what? I tell you what, I have 4 kids and it's soccer season right now. And plus, obviously, I'm running a small business and you know, I'm not going to sit up here and blow smoke up anybody's ass. Like, it's a tough time for me right now with my business, man. These interest rates at 7-8% in this horrible economy, not a lot of people are moving. So it's really tough to, you know, you have less people moving. It's harder to find the people that are moving these days. It's a brutal time in this country, and just trying to tread water, keep my head above water and fight through this until we can get President Trump back in office and get those interest rates down and drill, baby, drill. And this is what's going to bring us back. But I'm going to be all right. I'll fight through this. And with the support of the American people, if you need moving services or you know someone that needs moving services, give us a shot. 561-398-8078. That's the number. Or you can reach us at bluelinemoving.net or on social media.
Buddy, I love you, man. I'm sorry that your camera went out so we could see your pretty face talking that, but you gave us a great amount of time today. And God bless you, your family, and everything that you're trying to do for this country. We'll catch back up with you, John.
God bless you guys. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you. America first.
Thanks,
America first. John Rour, the great American cleanup. I mean, I don't even know where to start.
Right. I mean, there's so much that he said. And I think all of us know that. I think we're all seeing it, and we're all seeing that it's happening in our own hometowns. But to hear the magnitude of what he said, and this is the second time he even brought up the dog situation. I mean, so many of our listeners, I think most people have a heart for dogs. And so what in the world are they doing? Coming across the border and just dumping their dogs? I mean, like you said, they're comfortable enough to come over here and bring their dog, and then they just let them run. I mean, that just kind of shows you the type of human beings that they are, that they come over here. And I'm not saying that they're not afraid or whatever it is, but they're coming over here illegally, dumping their dogs, dumping their trash, going into our hospitals, looking at us like, what in the world are you doing getting in my way? I'm here. I'm privileged because I'm a foreigner. It's just all disgusting. And it's so disheartening. And so many of our listeners are saying, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? And I mean, I guess what we can do, obviously, is everybody as a conservative collective get together, vote in the right candidate, don't be divided. And we hit that over and over and over every day. Don't be divided. But if you physically have to do something, maybe go to the border, go with his team that goes down there and rescue the dogs and clean up the trash. But that, again, doesn't solve all of the problem.
We talked about this.
We talk about it a lot.
From the start of this show. And for over a year, we have talked about and really tried to put an emphasis on the border. We've tried to put many, and I repeat, many stories, many sound bites, many videos about what's happening at the border, to not stop, to not get bored of it, to not let it come in one day and then be yesterday's news, because it is coming, it is happening. It's one thing to have a problem, and then it's another thing to have a problem that gets worse and you don't do anything about it. We're just not going to look at it.
Yeah.
We're going to be happy. No. This is the life that we have. We're not going to get focused on anything else. Nope. We're going to be happy. It's not a right versus left issue. It's not an independent issue. This is an American safety issue.
Yes, it is.
And even if it wasn't an American safety issue and every single person that came across that border illegally had good intentions and really just wanted a job and a better life,
but that's not what's going on.
Even if that was the case, guess what? Our economy can't handle it.
No.
We can't handle taking care of it. Cities are going broke. Democratic-led cities are ripping the president. They are ripping his administration. They are calling him out in the public square. Like, we need help. This was not part of the plan. That whole sanctuary city thing, yeah, it sounded good, but this ain't working for business. We're being called out by our citizens. People who once voted for us said that they're never going to vote for us again, that they're going to go to the right. They're going to vote Trump. We can't handle this anymore. This is what's going on. And guess what? When they put their teams together, when they put those pods together, then you have a problem, a massive, massive problem. This stuff isn't going away. It's only getting worse. And we're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to continue to promote it. We're going to continue to let you know about these stories and the videos that John was just talking about that people need to see. We're going to continue to try to do it. Jeannie says St. Charles was fighting to keep them out. They were trying to do what they could. Chris says, I'm in Illinois. And the fat ass governor, he's talking about Pritzker, is trying to take all the guns and ammunition away.
Correct.
At the same point in time where he's trying to make illegals police.
Yes.
Where they're getting the resources that are just blowing people away that our states just don't have. We just don't have them.
Well, and you just figure what you just said is one of the most bizarre statements ever. And we've talked about it before. But Pritzker, the Illinois governor, is literally wanting illegals to be police officers. I mean, let that sink in for a minute. And then our very red state over here, we have our governor who I like, but what he's saying is he is taking these illegals. These illegals are getting money because he can't do anything about it because he can't buck the federal government. But I'm seeing some states are bucking the federal government. So, I mean, we have weak governors. We have compromised governors. I mean, this is very scary. There's very few people in our government and in our political realm that we can even go, they put our country first. There's really one human being that we can say that about, and they cheated him out of the last election. So it's starting to get a little more than frightening.
And it just, oh my God, it blows my mind that this is going on. Yeah, in life, we don't want to hear bad things.
No, we don't. We don't.
Want to be happy, enjoy life.
Yes.
And talk about fun, sweet cotton candy, cookies and lemonade by the poolside until crazy illegal shows up and tries to blow up a house.
Correct.
Crazy illegal shows up and tries to rob you. Crazy whomever tries to take away the life that you have. That's why we talk about it. Not trying to scare anybody. We're just trying to educate. When the show's over, fine, go do what you want to do. We're just trying to educate you because bad is here, bad is happening, bad is coming, and we just need to wake up. Everybody needs to wake up and understand that you may not think there's anything that you can do, but there's always something.
There's always something you can do.
It is what happens. We're also grateful. And if you can support John in any way and anything he does, please support him. We're grateful for the time that he gives us. We're also grateful for the sponsors and advertisers that we have. We're going to have Paige Measley here in a second, just joining us just for a little bit. Have a cool segment with WeQuip. We'll talk about WeQuip coming up in just a little bit here. We're also grateful for the partners that we have. Wenty's, where our Chesterfield Valley location is located, just right down the street from us. We got our 1-year celebration party coming up Thursday night, 7 p.m. Come out and join us for a few hours. Be great to see everybody out at Wenty's. You can check out some of the best pizza, burgers, wings, smoked meats that you're going to find on their heated big patio. Strategic Air Services, of course, where we do our show live every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website. CancelTheShow.com, premier private transportation provider in all things aviation. They're always looking for pilots, by the way. And if you have any questions, once again, you can just go to CancelTheShow.com and click on the partners page. Then we have links to all of our companies. We make it very simple. So you can go there, tell them you're from Cancel This to check things out. Solar City STL, Justin Tallyvast, making renewable energy part of life. Let them install. They do their own installs. Their product reviews are amazing. They are rocking and rolling, and there's a reason why people are choosing solar. They want to get off the grid as well. Route 66 Cannabis. They've got products for everything, but they're really big on getting off pharma. Really big off getting off pharmaceutical drugs and doing things that are natural. Route 66, they've got 5 locations throughout the St. Louis area. The new one's in De Pere, 270 in Manchester. And you can get their Ostera product line all over the state at any of those locations. Also, Experience Realty Partners, Kathy Helbig-Strick, Steve Strick, and of course, Score Mortgage. They've also got the side company, New Age Health and Wellness, which is blowing up all over the place. People continuing to get their blood checked to see what they can do, what they can take, what they should be doing to have more energy and zest and zeal for life. And finally, Amini's, your leading supplier in traditional and infrared saunas to help your health, your blood circulation, overall well-being, and of course their saltwater hot tubs, which are blowing hot tubs out of the water right now with what they can do, the cleanup, the healthiness for your skin as well. With that being said, we're going to talk about WeQuip in just a second. I'm curious, have you had a chance to look at WeQuip yet, Lizzie?
I have. And I'm starting to line up things to put on it. So I've got some things that I think that would be good to rent out.
Well, thank God you haven't rented me out yet. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
about
you're
that.
going on.
I just hope that it was one of those fun things. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
No, I'm going to put you on there.
Well, it's getting a little chilly outside right now. So I don't know if I had to be in a Speedo on any of those things.
If somebody gets you in December or January, you don't have to do a Speedo, but you can go there anyway in whatever you want to wear.
Well, what I thought was and it was funny because I was looking at the website and I saw something, and it was a Wander selfie station for $900. And I was like, I've got to talk to Paige about this because I need to figure out this stuff, how they do it. Do these things rent? Do they tell people not to, or they're just like, people go on there and do whatever they want to do? And they let everybody know from that standpoint. I think we've got Paige looking good. I think her mic's on. I think she's ready to go. Paige, it's great to see you.
Great to see you guys too.
Did you wear your WeQuip sweatshirt last time?
Yes, I did.
I love her
This
sweatshirt.
one is a different color.
Love it.
I have a couple.
We welcome you back in. You're the owner of WeQuip USA. If anybody didn't know about you before, could you just remind everybody who you are and what your company's about?
Yes, so I'm Paige. I'm the owner of WeQuip. So we are a peer-to-peer item rental marketplace. So I think of us as like Airbnb, but for items.
Are you guys, you were on the show last month. I think we're 3 weeks ago, month ago.
Right before
about
Thanksgiving, yeah.
And you were a brand new company. You were and at that point in time, you said that because you just started, I think you had your first maybe sale at that point in time?
Yes.
Please tell me things are picking up. I know it's a weird time of year.
Yeah, they are. Actually, when I was on the show last time, I got a text in the middle of it saying that someone needed 15 chairs for that night.
Okay. Were you guys able to produce?
We were. Yes.
Okay.
We didn't have 15 chairs at the time, but I knew of someone that had been meeting to list those chairs, and he got them listed that day and got delivered to the company, and they had them for the event that night. So that was really exciting.
That's great.
I'm looking at your website right now. When I go onto the website, I get fascinated by it. Once again, we're reminding people this is a website.
Yes.
And if people go to cancelthisshow.com, it's very simple. Cancelthisshow.com, click on our partners page. You go to WeQuip. we literally have a link for you to click on where it takes you right there. You can start shopping and or you can put your own item up for bid. Now, has anything new come in the last, let's say, month that for example, you had certain items there, but now it's going maybe in a different direction?
So we onboarded our first business, which was really exciting. So it's Allegro Entertainment. So they have speakers, DJ equipment, selfie stations. So if you're planning a wedding or a big event, that is definitely something to check out. And as well as one of his listings, you can also
oh yeah, we've got your website. We've got your
there it is.
Well, we've got your marketplace up. If
Yes.
you go to the website and you click on marketplace, it takes you right to items that are available to rent.
Yes. So one of the things you see on there is a projector and a screen. So if you're having an event, you're doing a presentation, you need that, or maybe an at-home movie night or something like that. That'd be fun. But also one of his is a speakers plus DJ set. So he's basically renting out his speakers and saying, hey, I come along with it. So if you want to DJ for a party, you can rent that.
Nice. That's a good idea. I wonder if he will just rent out the speakers and not himself.
He does as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So he has
both.
speakers that range up to groups of 500 people. So
okay, that's
and
good
he
to
has
know.
the same pricing for all of it. Yeah, which is very exciting.
Are there any questions that you're getting or from the last time that you were here that maybe people get confused or they don't understand 100% what's exactly going on, that maybe it might be helpful to clear the air to give maybe black and white truth or information?
I guess the one question I get the most is this a franchise? And no, we are not a franchise. If you're dealing with WeQuip, you're dealing with me. And my husband and I started this from the ground up. So there's no franchises. It's not a startup out of California. It is me and my husband out of St. Louis, Missouri running this. So
Joe, great job on popping stuff up, man.
Yeah, he's
Sarah,
on it today.
Well,
Boom.
we know Joe's good at what he does, but
He
damn,
is.
that's good. We're seeing all the different items and things that people can jump in and offer. It's also important to know, obviously, we have a national audience and we have an audience in the St. Louis metropolitan area.
yes.
And you're from the area.
Mhm.
You're a homegirl. And you started your business here. You're living here. You pay taxes here.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's in this area and looking for things, obviously we encourage you guys to partner with Paige and do whatever you can there, as Paige and her company and her husband have partnered with Cancel This as we try to promote what they're doing. That's for sure. Is there anything, again, that surprised you in the last month that came on there? And I know surprise is one of those words. Nothing can surprise you. But maybe you're like, oh, look, honey, look what somebody's trying to rent now. Oh, this is interesting. I never thought this would be something that people would try to rent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not anything super surprising. Some of the things are items that I've personally talked to people about. They're like, oh my gosh, I have this set. So there's 3 kayaks on there that come with everything you need. And it's $200 for the week. Like that's something that's a super great deal. But I just found that in talking with people and going, and they're like, oh my gosh, I have these kayaks. I don't want to get rid of them. But yeah, exactly. But they sit in my garage 99% of the time, and they haven't used them in the last 3 years.
Right. And you can't buy 3 kayaks for $200 and
No.
you can't rent them for that price. That's a win-win for both people.
Exactly.
I was waiting for somebody to put golf clubs on there.
I have not gotten golf clubs yet.
That would be good.
great.
And I went to your site looking for those. Long story. My son and his friends, I don't know what happened. Some of my drivers got destroyed.
I'm
and
sure.
Yikes.
Dad will pay for it. I'm like, okay, I don't know what the hell happened, but I don't have my golf set anymore. And I went on there looking. I mean, it's a little bit colder now because I was going to try to golf. I was like, man, I don't
You should have let me
have the
know.
money to pay thousands of dollars for a new golf club. But I was like, I wonder if they have golf clubs.
No,
And so I looked on there. I haven't seen golf clubs yet. So I mean, my humble opinion, I
Mhm.
think if somebody has golf clubs,
Yeah, that would be good.
or like maybe because there's a lot of avid golfers who have really nice set. You may still have another set
Yep.
that's really nice you're not using. I would put it on WeQuip because I think you're going to be shocked at the amount of people that will want to rent them.
Or
Yeah.
for sure.
And for men, women, and or kids.
Mhm.
Especially if people are just trying to get into it, want to try it one time, or maybe they flew in for a bachelor party or something like that. And it's not like they're going to bring their whole golf club kit with them
Yeah.
when they fly. So that's a
And
great
Greg
thing.
reminds us lefty clubs are hard to find. So if anybody has lefty clubs,
that
that-
is so true.
that could work as well. So anything else from a standpoint of reminding people anything about WeQuip USA before we let you go? We just want to take some time and give you some special time here,
Yeah.
get you back on camera, talk about what WeQuip can do and what it's all about.
So we are based out of the St. Louis area, but we are available nationwide. So even if you're listening outside the area, we'd love to have you join. I guess one of our social media posts later this month is a map, and it shows like where we are in the U.S., and we'd love to fill it. So, and right now we're in San Diego, St. Louis, Dayton, Cincinnati, and Fairfax, Virginia. So we'd love to fill in everywhere in between.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
a great idea.
Yeah.
Paige, thank you. We love your idea.
Appreciate it.
You light it up, you and your husband.
Yeah.
Congrats on everything. I promised we wouldn't get into politics with you ever, even though we know where you are. So we won't do that to you too much. But if you have any other ideas, anything else that's going on, let us know. You're always welcome in here too. So we just want to continue to promote WeQuip. And anybody that has any ideas, check out the site as Joe was showing you.
I appreciate it. And I will also, I'm looking forward to Thursday. So if anyone
wants
to,
good. Yeah,
hey, you're going to come out on Thursday?
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
I love that.
Looking forward to it.
We're appreciative of that. So we'll see you Thursday night then, okay?
Yes. And I'll bring out my WeQuip gear for you guys as well.
Love
All
it.
right.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Love
Paige
it so
Measley.
much.
Paige, thanks again. We appreciate it. I'm going to continue to check and see if people can put some golf clubs on there.
I know that's good. And Derek's saying you need to get on college campuses. Have you gone on to college campuses yet? Because they need everything.
And Paige, I brought, because I didn't know if there'd be something. I thought about this idea, and after we had you last time, my son was in town for Thanksgiving. And I thought college idea, like they would rent. He's like, well, Dad, he's like, most of the kids have everything that they need. And I'm like, yeah, because you're in the dorm right now.
That's true. That's true.
But as soon as you get out of the dorm,
have to live in an apartment.
If you're there, then I think it would rock and roll. So Columbia, Missouri would be another really good place where I think
would be. Yeah.
See you, Paige. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Grateful for Paige coming in from WeQuip. And Derek says, I have clubs. Put them on there, Derek. We'll check out your clubs. You can rent them.
We can rent Derek out too.
Yeah. And we'll see where all of that goes.
Mm-hmm.
This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. It is Tuesday, December 5th, as we continue to bring you the best that we can with cancelthisshow.com. Oh, by the way, Paige, is there insurance? Yes, there's insurance.
Yes, there is.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought we knew that, but that's a very good question.
So once again, WeQuip, such a cool idea, Donna says, again, the college campuses, as you just brought up as well. Okay, guys, we spent a lot of the first hour with John Rour, with the border, things that are going on from that standpoint. Aaron says golf in a Speedo. Why not do that?
Yeah, you could golf in a Speedo. We could rent out Vic, who doesn't have any proper clubs, but we can get clubs, rent him out in your Speedo.
Or we could just rent out Vic's Speedo.
Oh, yeah, we could rent out your Speedo. Yeah, so if anybody needs a swimsuit Speedo, just let us know. You can pay big money to rent.
Yeah, baby. There we go.
You don't even have to have Vic with you.
Okay. Well, we're having fun right now.
No, that's true. That's true. We're not just having fun. You can rent his Speedo.
I may upset people though now.
Yeah, you are. If you're going to be talking about what's coming up next.
Well, here's the problem. We got to get into this subject really quick and where people. Okay, number one, the Biden administration has now sent out the kits, and I can't remember if we really broke this story down or not, to test your kids for COVID in school. Did we break that story down? I don't remember doing this.
It's not real in depth. We've talked about it before, but
that's the first thing that's going on right now.
Yeah.
That we needed to talk about is you need to be well aware of what your public schools, even private schools for that matter, have intentions of doing if and when we get into the winter season here.
Yes.
That if they're going to, number one, have quote COVID testing kits and be testing your kids without you knowing. This is coming out right now. So the Biden administration has put this out there, and school districts are supposed to ask for how many kits that they want, get on a list, and then go from there. Now, the Biden administration is claiming that this is to help, quote, keep control of any possible COVID cases that are coming out.
Control is the primary word there.
when I read it, it rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, okay, wait a second. So you're going to try to test my kids, and then God knows what kind of quality these tests are, because we've talked about this before with Dr. Eric Naputi. And I wanted to remind everybody, even right now, when it comes to COVID, if you go and get a COVID test, most of these COVID tests, you don't know what the amplification is. What that means is how close they're looking at the sample and how far. When you keep the amplification very high, it picks up everything. So one little thing could set it off as a positive.
Yes.
And it could be one little piece of bacteria that has nothing to do with COVID, but it would cite it as a positive, quote, COVID test. Just be careful.
And have you seen the information that they are apparently coating the little swabs that you swab your nose with? They're apparently coating them with something that
I've heard that. Yeah.
And I'd have to find the videos again, because this was really big back when they were giving out the free kits.
Correct.
And you don't hear anything about it now. However, there was some sort of claim or something that the swabs that come with the kits are coated in some sort of chemical.
Well, and Terry brought up a good point. Remember, the COVID tests, many of them are made in China, where this very virus came from. So you got to be very careful. And the first thing you need to do, if you haven't already done it already, and even if you've already done it, do it again, is if you have children or grandchildren, you need to say to them, hey, if you get sent to the nurse's office because they're going to look for lice or whatever, because that's they still do that in schools, make sure when they say to you, hey, do you have COVID? Just want to do that. Don't have your child be so, goodwill and go, oh yeah, you can check up my nose. Make sure you tell your kids, do not let them stick anything up your nose. You have to tell that to your kids nowadays.
And if you use any of those home kits, I highly recommend just use your own Q-tip.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Because of the possible coating on
right. And it's just safer if you just use your own Q-tip. And that's what I use every time, and they're just as accurate.
Yep.
I just don't test, or don't, because I hear people with the whole, I have COVID. How do you know? Well, I did a test. Okay, so now that you think that you have COVID, whether you do or you don't, so then what now? What are you afraid? What's the big deal?
What are you going to do about it now?
Okay, so you got the flu. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. And I said, well, after they said that, they go, well, just so you know. And I'm like, okay, so you have the flu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she looked at me like,
people are shocked by that. Like, people here, we come to the studio and we could be sick. All of us have been sick, or one of us might have even had the C, but we come to work anyway. Like we do. Like back in the good old days before this, unless you were dying, people would come to work with the sniffles or the cold. And now people are still like, oh my gosh, I don't feel too good. Maybe I should stay home. And that's great if you're able to do it. But if you cause an inconvenience at your job because you have the sniffles, go to work. Go to work.
Well, it concerns me, because then people, and then everybody starts to lose it. And oh my God, that kid, he's got COVID. Oh my God. I mean, I don't judge people for wearing masks. I don't. I'm seeing a whole lot more of them, and that's fine. People can do whatever they want. I did see a woman wearing a mask at the gas station when it was 60 degrees the other day, pumping gas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and it wasn't a surgical mask. It was a flower. It had flowers on it. Like it had designs. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's interesting.
And the only reason I saw her because she was in my walking path, because I was going in to get something. So I didn't just pay at the pump. And I walked in and I was like, oh, okay.
I'm seeing a lot more masks.
I said, I hope she's all right. I just started to wonder and think about, oh, okay.
Well, and I get if people want to wear masks. I'm not a masker, and God help you if you ever try to mask one of my kids again. But if you want to wear one, go ahead. But I don't understand. I don't understand if you're outside with fresh air, why don't you get some of that? Why are you putting a mask on your face and breathing in your own whatever you got? Go outside and get some sunshine. I mean, that's what we were taught as kids. If you don't feel good, go sit on the back porch or sit on the front porch and let, the sun rays get to you. And we've lost that focus. It's like, get inside, put your mask on and don't say anything. Don't breathe.
Well, I credit Robert Peterball because, and I feel silly, but when we first started this show, it's been a year, I had never heard of the word grounding. I have now taught my kids, try to get outside and ground. One of our doctors on here, one of our orthopedics, had never heard of grounding, and we had him, and I felt bad. He was here live, and I'm like, and we had the question where when it came to, and grounding isn't going to heal tears necessarily. It's not going to heal broken bones the proper way. But man, I'm telling you what, whenever I can, I will put my feet on the earth and grass and try to be in sunshine as much as possible, 15, 20 minutes a day. And I had really my son doing it.
They say there's something about it that helps strengthen your immune system.
Of course.
And the immune system, growth of the body, everything with that. And I was like, holy crap. I became a believer. Became a massive believer in grounding. That is for sure.
Yes. You've got to be in sunlight. And I see a couple people on the chat line that are saying, be careful around a cancer patient. But here's something that's so interesting. My father-in-law was in the ICU at a hospital in West County, St. Luke's to be exact. And there was no masking going on, like zero masking, even with the nurses and the doctors and all of that. And when he went into the IC unit, there was only one nurse that even said, you guys need to wear a mask when you go in there. But as a general rule, the hospitals are not even masking in the cancer unit anymore, which I thought was very interesting. I thought for sure they would, have us wear masks, but they weren't doing that. They weren't doing it. They just said, if you're sick, stay home. Other than that, you can come in with your loved one with no mask. And that's in the hospitals. They're not doing much.
I'm in the hospitals every
Do you
now
see
and
a
then.
lot of masks in the hospital?
No, outside of, no.
No, see, I was surprised.
I wear one when I'm in surgeries.
Well, that makes sense.
But you have to do that. That's been that way forever. But I don't, I don't see as many as you would think.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought in the ICU, and my father-in-law was on the cancer floor, no one had a mask on. I should take that back. One nurse was kind of the mask Nazi lady, but that was it. None of the doctors came in with masks either. So, that told me a lot because I'm not a doctor. So, I don't understand the whole masking thing. I understood if you felt like you were unhealthy, wear it, whatever. Children, no. But this was where very sick people were at, and they did not have masks on. Just interesting.
So I looked up the health benefits of grounding, and this is from a .gov. Let's see. It says that it's good to reduce inflammation and pain, improves response to trauma and injuries with accelerated wound healing, improves blood flow, reduces blood viscosity.
Yeah. Natural. Once again, natural.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've talked about grounding. We'll continue to talk about those issues.
Yeah.
It's just another thing to be aware about because we were just talking about what happens with the mask, what happens with testing, what happens with sickness.
Just go outside and touch grass with your bare feet.
Try to be as healthy as possible when it comes to taking care of those sicknesses. Okay. In the midst of that, the World Health Organization, which had been quiet for some time, has now come out and just it blows my mind that this is going on again, because now the CDC is, well, first of all, we'll do the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization has now said that they are, quote, recommending, not mandating. I don't even want to get into that word and what that really means.
Right.
They're recommending. But there's a lot of women out there who like, oh, really? Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. If the WHO is saying it, I should follow. If the CDC is saying I should follow, they're recommending that every pregnant woman or every pregnancy, new pregnancy, should be re-cupcaked, vaxxed.
Yeah. And to me, that screams depopulation. Depopulation.
But why?
Well, the whole world order, the whole world order is part of the WHO organization. That's all part and parcel. And you and I don't think like this. So it makes no sense to the common layperson. But the elitists that are part of this whole world order are part of the World Health Organization. They truly believe that we are all just peons that are sucking the air they breathe in, and they want to depopulate. That started over in China.
They want to depopulate because a decreased population is easier to control.
That is one of the reasons. for sure. And that's a big reason. They want to be able to control everything we do. And they also think that we're taking their resources. They really believe that that's why they're so pro-choice, that they don't want anyone to take away the stuff that they rightly own. They really believe that they're better than, that we're peons, that if we don't make $1 billion a year, we are not worthy of them. Most of them, if you put it all together, they are atheist. They don't believe in a higher power or a creator. So they don't come from a point of view of Christianity or any other religion that believes that there's a higher power. So, I mean, there's no accident in any of this. They really want to depopulate. They want you not to have babies, but they want other people. And I know that people laughed when I said that, but they are really okay with the procreating of Mohammeds because that's part of ruining the white generation who they feel is going to come and take their power. If you research that at all, that is really what is going on. And that sounds bizarre, but that's true.
But the problem is, as Terry said, there were numbers that miscarriages, the numbers went up dramatically from those who got cupcaked.
Correct. But that's part of their plan.
And Lisa says, my DIL, forgive me.
Daughter-in-law.
Okay. Escaped the quote vaccination.
Good for her.
Because she was pregnant.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
But then, of course, she quit because she said she would have to, quote, get the jab, get cupcaked to go back to work. It's so bizarre. And now
it really is.
But see, so this time it's not being forced on people, but it is being recommended.
Yes.
And there are so many good people who want to believe that that all governmental organizations want nothing but great for you. I'm not saying I'm going against every government because I don't think every governmental organization is bad. I don't. I know there's people on here who disagree with me, and that's fine. Are they imperfect? Yeah. Do they make mistakes? Yeah. But I'm telling you, you have to do your own research when you're told something by governmental agencies, especially when it comes to the cupcake, especially with all the data that's already out there. The fact that they came and said something to the effect of when moms are already, I want the best for my baby. And and then why would they tell me? There's no way in hell that they would tell me something bad. Of course I need to do this. Yeah.
Right. They want you sterile or not breathing at all.
Joe is exactly right. And if you go on that site, the WHO website, you will see the comments of many people that believe like we do, but then you do see comments going, thank you for this advice. I appreciate it. I'm going to go right out and get it now. And it's ridiculous. I know my daughter, she did not get it. And when she was pregnant, she did get COVID while she was pregnant with my granddaughter. It was rougher when you have it, and she was really sick for a couple days, but the baby was fine. She was fine. But the odds of her not being fine by taking that is way worse than actually have gotten it.
100%.
Itself. So, I mean, but there are these people that I would just call kind of brainwashed that really do believe government agencies are good. And I guess I'm not a libertarian, but I guess I'm more that way than a lot of people because I don't know that any government agencies are good at all. I know I dealt with them with a restaurant that we owned. I dealt that with all of them, and none of them were good. They didn't come in here and go, I'm going to make your auto body shop better. I'm going to make your restaurant or your child care center better. Every time I saw them come in, I saw cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. They cost us money for things we didn't even need, and a lot of them get on a power kick, and they come in, they love to order you around. So other than the original intent of maybe some federal government agencies, I only like the fact that our money goes to maybe parks and roads. Other than that, get your government ass out of my life, out of my business, and stay away from me. They don't do any good for you.
Well, I'm curious of what organizations you think are, because you said that you don't think that all of them are bad.
No,
I'm curious of which ones that you think are good.
Here's what happens. I never said that I think any of them are, quote, good. I don't think they're all bad. And here's why. I'm not a believer in government. However, people who work in government are not all bad people. They believe they're trying to do something well, and that's why
they're making a paycheck. They're doing what they're told.
And not just that, but also they're doing good as well. Some things are controlled by government, so those things can't be 100% good. But once again, to sit here and say that the FDA is all bad on everything. You just can't do that. You just can't. Now, are there some things that drive me crazy with 100%? But once again, just be careful about everything that you do with any government agency and just make the right decisions for yourself.
I think the idea of the FDA is good, but the FDA itself is not.
I agree. I agree with you, Joe.
And the whole thing with it is you just have to look at there's poison in with good. There's good in with poison.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. And then now in 2023, 2024,
they're going to push it on our kids now. I mean, the newest thing that's coming out, so they hurt the old people with COVID, and they hurt the people with comorbidities. And I do think all those elderly people that took the shot, you see more people dropping dead than I've seen in a long time. Now they're going to come after our kids. So they scared the old people, and then I'm going to call them this. It's definitely a buzzword, but then they scared the sheep and the weak. And then now they're going to come after our kids, because kids is a button that the strongest mama wants the best for their kids. So now this stuff coming out of China now is going to affect the kids. But if I can say anything to anyone, as a mom of 2 Chinese kids, that we were over in China for quite a bit watching what's going on. China, except for maybe Shanghai and stuff, is a complete shithole. Do not believe anything that's coming out of China. Protect your kids and don't give them that crap. Don't do it.
Yeah, well said. There's not much more that can be said from that standpoint. Be careful. Just be aware that these things are now happening, and it's sad that once again we're talking about, this is recommended, and something tells me that you'll see it on local news, local newspapers, radio, all of that stuff that's going on.
Well, and a great comment is dads. Dads are going to have to be the one to step up. During the last COVID situation, it was the mamas. It was the mama bears. As the dads, many just sat there and didn't do a lot. The big, brave people, other than some Dr. Naputi types, it was the women. The dads have got to stand up for their kids this time around.
By the way, I talked with Eric. He's a good friend of mine. I talked with him twice last week. We will. He's going to be coming on our show.
Yes.
So he's going to be coming on our show soon. We're talking about some things. He sent me an interview. I think it was Friday, about some of the specifics about some of the things that he has done and that he went through with everything. And and some people may know, they may not know. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you right now that it's insane what just put it this way. Because he told people
the truth,
that vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc would literally help you.
Yes.
If you had conditions, not told you it would cure you and take everything, that it would help you, and refused to stop doing that. He was sued by the federal government for $505 million.
Yes. They about tried to ruin his life.
He ended up winning.
Yes,
winning is in quotes, because he could have taken money to have his legal bills, which were over $5 million.
Yeah.
Legal bills were over $5 million.
Yeah. And he won by settling, but it was still a lot of money.
But here's the thing. And the only reason they just, instead of going to court, is because here's what happens. His business loans, his banks were turned against him.
Yep.
So what happens is you have to, you figure out, one, he could have taken a lot of money, and just never talked about it again. That's the deal that the government gave. The first deal was going to be no option. So I'm not even going to waste the time. It's a long term. The second one was you get $5 million to take care of all of your legal bills, and you'll never be able to talk about this again. Your third option is you don't have to sign any sort of disclaimer, but you're not going to get any money from us, and this is just going away.
Correct.
And so he took door number 3, and now he's talking about it.
Love it.
And it just goes to show, all because he was trying to tell people. Now, they knew from the get-go they had no case, but what they tried to do was destroy him from that standpoint. And the reason we got on is because we were talking a little bit about COVID and, of course, revaccination. And I promise you, he would be telling you, do not get that because you do not want what's in that going into your body,
do not.
Especially when you're pregnant. So,
correct. Do not take it.
So easy enough from that standpoint. Love Eric. Like I said, he's a good friend. He will be coming. We're going to be talking. He's got a lot of things going on. He's got a big launch coming up.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff.
In the middle of January. And so we'll be catching up with him after that time period. But yeah, it could be pretty darn exciting. We'll see where that goes. Guys, let's see here. Before another topic today, what time is it?
It is 9:36.
Okay, we are rocking and rolling. We have to get into this. There's so much crap going on with Donald Trump right now. I wanted to touch on this real quick, and I know we have other videos and things, but just to go to show, once again, all of these paper mache allegations, accusations, indictments will soon fall somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, we talked about, I gave you the intro a little bit earlier, Special Counsel Jack Smith. This is in the classified documents indictment case. There are 4 major documents that he was hiding, that he was not allowing the defense to see. Why in the hell do you think he's not allowing the defense to see? Because they can't defend themselves against information they don't know about, or how something was obtained, or how information was given to them by somebody who has a connection that shouldn't. That came out last night. There's talk, once again, of mistrials because of this stuff going on. Those documents are now going to be given over to the Trump defense team. You're starting to see more and more cracks in all of these allegations that are coming down. And not only did that happen, but then guess what else happened yesterday? Oh, shocking. The Trump hater, Michael Cohen, the former alleged attorney, has a connection with the New York judge, the crazy looking judge, Judge Arthur Engoron.
Yeah, crazy dude looking.
Now more mistrial questions are being brought up now because there was a report that was released yesterday, and thanks to Laura Loomer for bringing this out yesterday, that Judge Arthur Engoron, overseeing the Trump civil fraud case in New York, has an indirect link to Michael Cohen. Go figure. You can't make this stuff up. It's just like a Hollywood drama. What happened was that the connection between the judge and Philip Halpern, who's a former U.S. attorney who appeared on Cohen's podcast. Well, Cohen, after his tenure as Trump's attorney, became a witness against the former president, of course. Well, yesterday, it showed that there is a link and there's a connection that's traced through Judge Engoron's publication, the Wheatley School Alumni Association newsletter. And back in 2020, the newsletter featured an article by Mr. Halpern discussing his reasons for leaving the Department of Justice and his dissatisfaction with Trump. Additionally, the newsletter included a personal note from guess whom? Halpern to Judge Engoron. Wow. They're connected. They're not, they can't be connected. And he's the judge of the case. And he's friends and has a link with Michael Cohen. And Michael Cohen is the only alleged star witness against Trump.
I mean, come on.
This you can't make this shit up. It's happening day in, day out right now.
Yes.
And once again, as Trump is proven more and more innocent, you hear more and more crap that gets thrown out in the national media so that your attention goes elsewhere.
Correct.
Just like we were starting to focus on all the illegal immigration. October 7th happens. We were focusing on all of the Biden crime stuff, the checks being associated. And then all of a sudden it's about Israel Hamas. This stuff is happening. It has not stopped. It should scare the hell out of people because of the stuff that's going on. Wait, because more of this Trump stuff is going to start to happen.
Exactly.
You're going to see all of these, as we have told you from the get-go, there's just so much dirtiness that's going on. It's wrong. Trump has called it from the get-go, talked about the deep state doing this for years, all of a sudden bringing it up because he's running for president. He may be a leader in the Republican Party. Oh, damn, he has blown out everybody, every possible Republican challenger. Oh, shit. Now he's beating even Biden and our own liberal polling.
Right.
What are we going to do?
We're going to ruin them. Is what we're going to do.
Now they have no basis for anything. There's nothing that they can do.
They have overturned every leaf on to try to ruin him, and he still keeps coming out innocent all the time. And naive me, back in 2016, I thought for sure he would win in a landslide, and they were even cheating back then, because he has maybe not the married to one lady, this kind of thing, but he already gave all of his dirt out, which was out there. And we still wanted him because he was America first. So now they're just making everything up. And every time they do, it gets flipped around that they lied over and over and over.
It just saddens me that the stuff's actually going there. It's one thing to think it and believe it and have an idea, but when you can actually prove it and that there's connections and the dirty connections are there, and special counsel Jack Smith is hiding. Why would the special counsel hiding the documents?
Yeah.
That why they're hiding it. And it wasn't misplaced. They were hiding it because they don't want them to be able to defend themselves.
Yeah. Well, and literally Jamie on here saying that she believes Trump's is 5 steps ahead of the left, and he is setting them up for a fall. And Kevin's calling him Teflon Don. I agree with that, because I do think they come after him with things he doesn't even know that they're going to come after him. But then he always comes out like Teflon Don. And some of it, I think he knew that's what they were going to do to him. And in the end, it exposes, if nothing else, even if he does not get elected again because they cheat, because we don't know exactly who won the last election because they didn't let us know. I believe it was Trump. But he does things to them to let them expose themselves. And he's exposed things that none of us knew. None of us. I think he exposed things that he didn't even know what was happening. Because the swamp, we just thought there was a few little swamp creatures down there. They're all swamps. All of them. The whole world is full of swamp.
Well, we don't want anything to ever get lost. Joe, were you going to say something, bud?
I was just going to say the swamp's teeming with little slithering things.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you could you pull up that video that from earlier that we were just going to start at 2 minutes? I wanted people to hear some of this. This was an interview from yesterday morning. It was yesterday morning. Comer, Republican Comer. He is over the oversight. He's the chair of the oversight committee, which, thank God, because Republicans took control of the House, were able to do the investigative reports that were not being done by Democrats, by Nancy Pelosi, by any of the Democrats when it came to studying and investigating the Biden crime family. Well, Comer did, and everything was hitting a fever pitch once, and then we had massive national news, and then twice, and then all of a sudden Israel gets attacked, and then you haven't seen or heard a lot of it in the news anymore. But when we were talking about at that end of September, first week of October, what was going on, the checks to the Biden family members for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you're going to hear Comer talk about how it is now 100% clear how they were taking payments from China, and you just don't take loans. You can't make this shit up. It is so bad. It is so illegal. Just listen to Comer talk right now to Maria Bartoloma from Fox News about what's happening and how this isn't going away for Biden.
In Hunter Biden's joint accounts, what is most damning here from your standpoint?
Well, this is a great snapshot for everyone in America to see what takes place in a bank making a decision to file a suspicious activity report against a prominent person, against a politically exposed person. Remember, banks don't want to file these, Maria, because when you do, it invites the bank examiners in. And that's the last people banks want to see are bank examiners. When you file a suspicious activity report against the son of a vice president of the United States, the bank examiners are going to fly from wherever they are into that bank the next day and look into this. So they wanted to make sure they weren't making any mistakes, but they understood the potential criminality here and the potential vulnerability to our national security. And, when they saw the $5 million wire go to an investment fund with no investments, and that they knew that the Bidens had all these shell accounts, and they mentioned that in the email, these accounts where they weren't real businesses, they were just like dormant accounts. You get a huge $5 million wire in. So they obviously reach out to the president's son and say, Mr. Biden, what is this $5 million wire? We need to know, or we're going to have to notify the Treasury Cabinet of a suspicious activity report. He said, oh, that's a loan. And they're like, a loan from China? Okay, well, we need the loan documentation so that we can have that in the records for the bank examiners. And they said there were no loan documents. So the bank knew right away. China didn't send someone in the United States, especially the son of a vice president of the United States, $5 million as a loan without any loan documentation or without any terms of the loan. And what we see here, Maria, is this fits a pattern that we've been talking about on your show for months, where the Bidens were taking in, millions of dollars from our enemies around the world, and they were calling them loans, because when you say a loan, you don't have to report that on your taxes. You don't have to notify the IRS. So this was a way the Bidens were trying to sneak money in, and at the end of the day, they weren't paying any taxes on it. But the bank examiner realized that this was a bad deal. Not only is this money laundering, and not only is this tax evasion, but this is how China comes in and buys politicians off. They give huge sums of money to vulnerable family members of high-ranking politicians. And they mentioned in the email Hunter Biden was susceptible because he was on drugs. He was in financial trouble. And they knew this because his ex-wife had said that in an interview.
Yeah, and they're talking about politically exposed person, PEP, which is Hunter Biden. I don't understand why you have had to take so long to actually get a vote to impeach or get this impeachment inquiry going. Do you feel that you have the votes within the House right now to get a formal impeachment inquiry?
I do. And I had a reporter ask, well, what's changed? Because the press has been writing we didn't have the votes forever. And I said, well, I'll tell you one thing that changed. We were in Washington, D.C. for 10 weeks, and there are about 15 or 20 moderates that they really worry about what CNN says or what the Washington Post writes. And they were getting in their head, Maria. But a great thing happened during Thanksgiving. The members went home. Many of them for the first time and circulated for the first time in over 10 weeks. And they met people in Walmart and people on Main Street. And they're like, what in the world have the Bidens done to receive millions and millions of dollars from our enemies around the world? And did they not pay taxes on it? So they heard from their constituents, yes, we want you to move forward. We want to know the truth. And we expect the Bidens to be held accountable for public corruption. So we are unified at a time when I think it's no secret our conference is broken in a lot of ways.
So that is damning if you didn't hear anything else about the Bidens, and it's what's going on. Once again, just because you don't hear it in mainstream media anywhere does not mean it's not going on. Thank God that the Oversight Committee is doing their job. Thank God that these things are going on. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I know it's easy to have a very laissez-faire attitude and say, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the Bidens. Nothing's going to happen. While I tend to believe I start to tend to believe too that there's just so much there.
There is so much.
Now, could the Bidens obviously push this way past any election and things from that standpoint? Yeah.
Of course.
Could an impeachment inquiry happen very quickly? Yeah, that could happen, but it's not going to remove Biden from the White House. It's not going to stop him from running for office. All it does is it's a symbolic showing of this man is guilty. There is evidence that shows it. I don't think that the American people even need that, because if he ran for office, which I have said since May, he's not running for office, that they don't need it. There's no way in hell this man wins an election. It's going to be difficult to have him win an election that's rigged. There's not the votes for him. There's not the support. There's nothing for him. I don't even think against our very comfortable American society would actually believe that Biden could win an election. There's no way in hell majority of Americans could ever believe that Biden just won an election over a Donald Trump. No way in hell. And thank God Comer continues to push and bring out the information that we would not have had.
Wouldn't it be funny if his son ran and won?
Who?
Biden Jr.
Hunter?
Dude,
yeah.
Did you just smoke a joint?
I know.
You really?
It
just
just- it
said
just, like-
Hunter Biden would run and win.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine it. But you know what, Joe? There are
I
some
mean-
real sickos that might vote for him.
With the way the world's going,
Oh, that is an awful thought, Joe. Thanks for ruining my day. Could
Sorry.
you imagine Hunter Biden as the president? We might as well.
it's like having one of those burps that just, ugh.
Yeah, like leaves this awful taste in your mouth.
Well, he's got other massive issues he's taking care of, Junior.
Yeah.
But it also brings up something else, and I'm glad that Aaron brought this up. Mike Johnson is not this patriot guy. I'm just telling you, he's not. And I told you from the get-go, I was a bit concerned. And once again, this gets back to all the mess that went down. Mike Johnson talks out of both sides of his mouth. He'll say something good and do something good. Then he does something else where you're like, okay, Rhino, no doubt about it. Patriot, Rhino, Patriot. He left a very important position within the House to become House Speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Who did he replace himself with? Chip Roy. Chip Roy is one of the biggest haters of Donald Trump. What the frick was Mike Johnson thinking yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you. So I'm glad you brought that up because I do a lot of research and constantly reading throughout the day. Where are all the Mike Johnson supporters right now? Bring it up. Tell me I'm wrong. What the hell? Mike, what the hell are you doing? Once again, and then of course now we're arguing about funding for Ukraine and Israel's not going to get funding unless Ukraine gets money for their bullets because they're out of bullets, they're out of ammunition, and Russia's going to run all over them if they don't have it. These are all the things that are going on. It's Mike Johnson. Very disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing. I'm starting to see, and once again, we've got another Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, that's a bummer because
videos were
great.
Mike released some videos, or he made sure that some videos released from J6.
Right.
But
Did
then
do that.
once again, it's like you can't talk out of this unless this is that same situation I've been telling everybody, but nobody wants Republicans like this, where you have to do this, and then you're pleasing them, and then you're pleasing them, and then you're pleasing this side to try to keep everybody happy. Now, if everybody believed in that philosophy, both sides, then it would work.
Correct.
But I have been told, Vic, the Democrats and the left don't play those rules.
They don't play by
the right
rules.
plays those rules and gets burned. The left doesn't. That's what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the case, then Mike Johnson is not the best man for House Speaker. And Republicans, you just got played by Matt Gaetz.
Right. But Matt Gaetz, okay, so, but what was Matt Gaetz's end run then?
What do you mean end run?
Well, like you said,
End
that we
goal,
got
or-
played by Matt Gaetz. How did we get played by Matt Gaetz exactly?
Regarding the whole situation that went down.
Well, I know he wanted to get rid of Kevin McCarthy.
That it wasn't about bringing a, quote, true patriot to the position.
Mhm.
It was just about, I don't care what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to tear down everything to get Kevin McCarthy out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a ton of difference between Kevin McCarthy and Mike Johnson, except the way that they sound.
Yeah. And that made a lot
Talking
of people.
is a big deal,
Right.
but your actions are always louder.
Correct. It makes a lot of people now look at Matt Gaetz differently because Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene look like the only two conservatives, and they only fight so far, and then they too get hit with gridlock, and then they stop and they pull back.
I'm just telling you, it was a bad look for Mike Johnson. And he showed us a lot of who he was. I mean, this is a prestigious position that he had. And who did he choose? One of the biggest Donald Trump haters there is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just not good.
And this was after Trump supported him to get the position.
Correct. I mean, that was almost like a slap in the face.
Don't call me crazy. I just don't get it.
Yeah. I don't think we're supposed to get it. And that's what's so sad. It's so confusing and so contrived that Matt Gaetz now looks like a complete dumbass.
Well, this decision specifically, this is the one that gets me. I mean, I know I was not a big fan of his Ukraine support, but the Chip Roy one is just like, there's so many good people that could have had this position. It's the Judiciary Committee's constitutional subcommittee to take the lead of it.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people say, okay, so that didn't work. What Matt Gaetz did, that didn't work, but let's do it again. People literally want to do it again. They want to now kick out Mike Johnson. The problem
we
is,
can't do it.
who's
No,
left?
no,
Who's
that's-
left to go up there?
Well, Byron Donalds, but that would be my next.
But he doesn't want to do it.
Well, he would do it. I think he would
so?
do that. With the Republicans can't do it anymore. They made a shit show out of the last deal. There's no going back now. There's not. And that's what stinks. That's what stinks about the whole thing. But regardless, just like I said, stay aware, keep updated, keep seeing what's around the corner. And it's just very difficult to trust anybody and everybody regarding every single thing that's happening.
Sure is. It sure is.
But we just try to bring you all the information that we can. Just want to remind everybody, we're having a party Thursday night if you guys want to come on out just to get together. December 7th, Wenties. That's Thursday night. We would love if you could message us. Please message. So we're trying to get a head count just about how much space we may need, that sort of thing. Oh, look at Ben. Ben made the headline, or he made the picture.
Did.
That's Ben in the far right.
That's
there.
Ben. The owner's husband is the one all the way to the far right.
Yeah, so that's Thursday at 7 p.m. You can stop by, say hi. It would be, it's good to, say hi, take pics. We'll try to take pics and post those pics for everybody who is rocking and rolling there.
Yes.
Aaron says, hey guys, now Aaron says Chip Roy is great just because he doesn't kiss the king's ring doesn't make him bad.
That is not even why I don't like Chip Roy. Is I don't think he's America first. I think he's entrenched in the swamp. And that's unfortunate, whether you like it or not. If you're against Trump, you're against the Make America Great Again agenda. And so therefore you're part of the swamp. It really is as simple as that. Some people don't agree with me, but it's as simple as that. And it's not because I think Trump is a god or that I'm in love with him or whatever. He's the only one that has proven time and time again, he will do anything for this country. He's one of the only presidents ever that hasn't come out of more money when you're stopped being the president than you did before. He's losing money. So I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
He's the only one who doesn't need money. And that's why he has stood the test of time. That's why his popularity is so
absolutely
huge. By the way, too, if you do come Thursday and you say hi, please say your name. So it's hard to put faces with names. You recognize names sometimes, but not always the faces too. So that would help. That would help us as well.
Absolutely.
We got so much still coming up. I know we didn't get to all the other
we didn't
stuff.
get to so much today, but there's nothing we can do about it. We have so much to talk about.
Situation.
But I think we got all the things that we said we would. But then there was other things that came up that we need to talk about.
Yep.
But we can do that.
Thanks
tomorrow.
again, guys, for watching us today. We will continue to rock and roll. Do you have a show that airs tonight, Joe?
No, we took the week off.
Okay, all good.
Pookie had a quadruple bypass, and
get out.
He's supposed to be coming back this week. We're going to be recording on Friday, so
and to let people know if they want to watch, there is an episode of The Wolf of Washington, Slightly Right. Wesley Smith, his show's coming up at 12 o'clock today. If you want to watch that live, and our football show, which is Football 360 show. It's become very popular. Talks about recruiting. It's a college football show. A lot of Mizzou stuff will be in there, especially with what happened with Matt Bierman, JP Rock. Matt owns Elite Football in the Chesterfield Valley. JP Rock is one of the best high school writers, college writers in the region. They have a very big audience too. So those are two live shows at 12 and 2. You can watch 12, the Wolf of Washington show. That's under the Wolf of Washington on Facebook and YouTube,
it is.
right?
Yes.
Correct.
And then at 2 o'clock, you can find the Football 360 show on YouTube and also on Twitter or X. So just wanted to promote those shows that we have too. So guys, we appreciate that. So until tomorrow, have a great day. For Joe Pro and Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. We appreciate it, guys. Have an awesome day. We'll talk to you later.